ask, are you ready to handle the spotlight of an internet superstar?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This was really fun and
Amazing video.
Okay, I am starring that one. I am saving that one.
Yeah, I get that.
Cam from the Culture Collective. We are here with co-producer and star Jamie Shapiro, as well as star Jamie Lynn Watson from the newest comedy film Skit, premiering November 14th on Tubi and available on all streaming platforms after. Ladies, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, 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 great, great. So I absolutely loved this film. I had a really good time with it. Very nostalgic. Took me back to my early years in the 2000s. Won't give away my age. That'll just ruin everything. But it was really fun to watch and just realize like how much limited access we had back then,
Mm-hmm.
as well as how dangerous the internet was at such a young early stage, which is crazy. As we know, this was written and directed by Badir as well as Dez, which is absolutely hilarious. But how much of the movie would you say, or how much of the screen time that you guys had was really just improving, you guys batting off of each other? I'll start with you, Jamie Shapiro.
Yeah. It's honestly a lot of it is
Mhm.
improv. I
Yeah,
mean, Better Mousestruck and Des Lombardo wrote a great script, but they wrote it with the intention of casting really funny New York comedians with
right.
great improv skills, like this one over here.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was really encouraged, improv was kind of key to the making of it. So a lot of it ended up in the film.
Yeah, yeah. How was that experience for you? I mean, that's your bread and butter, Jamie Lynn. So like, what was it like coming, like coming to a film set and it's like, oh, this is home for me. This is easy.
Yeah, I mean, it was ideal. I think like all of the people I knew were involved, I knew as comedians, so
Mhm.
I knew that there was going to be this sense of play well when we got there, which was really really exciting. I think even in my audition, I maybe put in a little improv. I usually do when it comes to these kind of projects, just to kind of like uh warn people like what I'll want to do on set.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, it was awesome. And I feel like we would get the shot done as needed. And then I feel like the next two or three, we would just absolutely play around in it. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really, really fun to watch too, because I'm like, man, like the writers are so good, but like, how did they come up with so many things? Like, it's like word from word. My gosh, my brain just doesn't work that well. It's crazy. So I would consider, or maybe you both consider yourselves content creators, right? So how do you have more of appreciation after doing a film like this that kind of looks back at the struggle of, the world of social media and also YouTube back then? I'll start with you, Jamie Lynn.
I'm grateful that I'm older now. I'll say that. I feel like, whenever you are an artist in whatever medium or whatever sort of thing you're putting out there, when you're young and it's your first thing, it can feel so scary and it can feel like if it does not go well, that it can just make you never want to do it again, which is a really interesting part of this film. So I'm definitely grateful that I am older now and have given myself the time to kind of like figure out what my comedic voice is. But I would never, like, if I had children, I would never recommend them put themselves in the internet character until they are 18 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, build some confidence up first, and then go for it.
Yeah, you gotta have tough skin to be to step
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there for sure. Yeah. How about you, Jamie?
I mean, it's fun. I think it's fun to look back at how the internet was and how far or not far we've come. And I think, as creators, you kind of are just throwing stuff online for the hope of other people finding it funny, or at least if you're doing the kind of content that we're doing. And it was fun to make something about people who didn't really have the filter yet to know
Yeah.
what they wanted to put online. Because I think a lot of the times I stop myself from putting stuff that I think is funny online because I'm worried about what other people will think. And
Mhm.
maybe if I didn't self-edit as much, I would enjoy it more. But
Yeah.
so it was fun to kind of get to play with people who didn't have that kind of like lizard brain self-doubt yet, although
Yeah.
we do kind of see it come into fruition for them. But
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 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 no. I mean, I love I guess I love the part where it's kind of, they're still trying to figure it out, and we never know how it's going to end because that's how social media is. You upload stuff and you're like, oh God, please don't
Yeah.
bomb. Like please
yeah.
don't bomb. Like I don't need that more pressure on me. It was hard enough clicking the button to, post it at this point. Um, so let's talk about a couple of the scenes, or without giving too much away, what would be one of the funniest or most unhinged scenes that you guys got to film? I have a favorite that I saw in this one, but I'll let you guys give yours first. I'll start with you, Jamie Shapiro.
Um, my favorite scene. I mean, I really love I think I have a different opinion because it's my favorite because of shooting it.
Right.
But my favorite scene's gotta be well actually one that I'm not in. Watching Jamie Lynn Watson and Jacob Kaplan, who plays Josh, do
Mhm.
the scene where Josh gets introduced
Yeah.
was the hardest scene to film for me. Luckily, I was not on camera for most of it because I was breaking every 3 seconds because the two of them shouldn't be allowed in a room together. They're too funny. And that was my favorite.
Yeah, that's a really good one. What about you, Jamie Lynn?
Unfortunately, that is funny. Unfortunately, that scene is supposed to be like 2 minutes long, and I think at a certain point it was like 10 minutes. We just wouldn't
Yeah.
stop, like
Yeah, yeah,
each other. I really loved filming the like drunken night.
yeah.
It got so messy. We had vomit involved, we had fake beer involved, we had a lot of spraying and a lot of cleanup. But it was fun. It honestly felt like, you know, back in the day when you would like have a sleepover with your friends and you would go kind of crazy. So I would say that was my favorite to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah. Oh,
bonding,
sorry.
say that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, and I think honestly that was my favorite scene in the film as well because it reminded me of, like you said, having a sleepover or your parents going out of town and you have some friends come over and you lose your damn minds, and that's what happens. And I was like, uh-oh, here comes the aftermath and people struggling afterwards. You never know the repercussions.
Right.
Um, so thinking about adolescence or this generation right now, what would you say some of the struggles that kids don't have to go through that we had to go through is one of your like biggest ones to talk about, or the biggest ones that you feel like kids didn't have to do that we have to do or we had to do back in the past? So start with you, Jamie Lynn.
I think the difference is now the internet and social media is such a part of everyone's life.
Hmm.
And so like the idea of wanting to be a comedian or a content creator is so common now. And
Yeah.
back then it was not. Like back then it was kind of almost embarrassing to be like, I want to do this. And now it is one of the most like it's like one of the most sought after jobs is just being like
Yeah.
influencer or something. So
Hmm.
I think that's a really big difference. Just like looking back at that time and looking now like how much more common it is.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the biggest difference I notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jamie Shapiro?
Yeah, I honestly think I would argue that I would not want to be a kid today. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
I actually think they have it way harder than we did,
Yeah.
um, for a myriad of reasons. But I guess the one thing that I would say is they kind of have the power of knowledge more than we did when
For
it was
sure.
starting out, where your parents would tell you like the internet's forever, and you'd be like, "Shut up, mom." But I think that
I see that. Yeah.
now, yeah, now you kind of do get that. I think that
Yeah.
kids like have that knowledge and know that the internet is a dangerous place, and
Yeah.
maybe we were just naive, but I think that we didn't fully grasp that because it just wasn't as much of a thing starting out. So
Yeah.
I guess that, but I would argue that it's harder today. I would
Oh
not want to
yeah.
be 14. So
Oh yeah, for sure. I have a 14-year-old, so like I'm like terrified. I'm
Yeah.
like, put your phone away, please. And it's funny because there's a scene where Jamie Lynn talks about like the form that she's in with like all the group of girls are very supportive, and then you find out it's all middle-aged men, and it's like, yeah, that's what I figured it
Yeah.
would be. Um,
Just be glad your 14-year-old there's no more Omegle. Because
that's true. I
the way that the girls in my grade, when we had a sleepover, we were on Omegle. You do not
thank God.
Mm,
hashtag
Thank
not a
God.
sponsor.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not supporting that one.
No.
Um, okay, so for my final question, this was absolutely amazing comedy film. Did you guys have a picture or of where it wants to go after this? I mean, like, I know it's early, right? It's early days and it hasn't been released yet, but are we looking like for like a skit later on as far as like a comedy series? Because I can see this like really taking off. It reminds me of like, What We Do in the Shadows, how it went from a film into a
Which
big
Jamie Lynn
series.
Watson was
Yep,
on.
exactly. So I'm like, what idea do we have as far as where we want to take this next? I'll start with you, Jamie Shapiro.
Yeah.
Well, it is going to be on Tubi starting
Right.
Friday, November 14th, this
Right.
Friday. So you will be able to watch it there.
Yep.
And if you're outside the regions where Tubi is accessible, we do have some things in the work for a worldwide release. But who knows? We don't know where it's going after that. We're kind of just along for the ride. I am excited for people to see it, and hopefully people like you will say that louder and more frequently that they
Yeah.
want to see more of it, and then
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get to do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Jamie
I
Lynn,
hope,
any
yeah,
predictions for future? Sure.
I
Go
hope
ahead.
that it inspires more people to make like 2000s era period pieces because
Yeah.
Literally.
it's so fun. I also hope that it, just in general inspires creators to create stuff. I feel like
Mhm.
as, people on the internet or people who creating things, something we often do is just like wait around and hope someone like gives us
Yes.
the money to make something or casts us in the right thing.
Right.
And sometimes it is just time to take matters into your own hands. So, uh,
Yeah.
a movie by creators about creators hopefully will create other creators.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out also to steal a phrase from our EP, greenlight yourself. That
Man,
was the biggest
there you
takeaway
go.
was don't wait for other people to tell you you can do something, just tell yourself you can.
There
Yeah.
you go. Better said, honestly. Everybody at home, check out Skit, premiering November 14th on Tubi and then available on all their streaming platforms. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.